So somebody that saw my original video about the engine butter and the oil filter, Evan, suggested I go back and filter some of it and use a magnet and try to figure out what's going on specifically. So I went back and I took a look at it. It's just been a day, and there wasn't much of that frothy stuff left. So I used a little bit more gasoline to kind of get the remaining crud out and put it onto a blue lintless paper towel. As you can see, it's completely dried out. So this is the remnants of what the oil would have been. So I think it was mostly frothed gas, and so as it evaporated, it kind of shrunk down. This is what we're left with. And I taking a magnet to it. Most of it is iron, and then some of it is kind of like dried out crystals. So the shiny stuff is going to be the yellow and amber crystals. And looking even closer at it, because it's all rusty and very fine, I didn't find any big chunks in it. I think it's kind of two things maybe happening at once, or one or the other. One is that the engine was rusty and had all these buildups, and so when the gasoline got into the oil, it kind of scrubbed it and washed it into the pan, and then it got sucked up into the filter. Or it was already in the oil pan and kind of sucked up. So that, I think this is old, and what makes me think that is that looking at it really close, I don't find any new iron shavings. It doesn't look like it was being ground while I was driving. I think the driving with the fuel in the oil just churned it all up and sucked it into the oil pump and then into the oil filter. And because it was all sticky, just trapped it all there and gunked everything up. So in a sense, I think what happened is that the gasoline kind of scrubbed the engine. As bad as that was, because the engine didn't have oil in it, it did trap a lot of this stuff. So I think it was either old deposits and old rust in the head and the block and the oil pan that got scrubbed clean freshly, or it had already been sitting there and then got picked up. So either case is bad to see all this stuff, but it's not a lot considering if it is old deposits and this is everything that got picked up, that's not that much for years of use. Now, if it is something fresh that ground up and rusted over, the couple of weeks or a few days or whatever, then that could be bad. But like I said, looking at it closely, I don't see any fresh metal shavings. So again, interesting. Thank you, Evan, for the suggestion to do that. And looking at these things closely reveals a lot.